What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Before I get into this one, I just want to say everything in this video is alleged. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For most parents, when our child is first born, we glance down and look into their eyes. It's an unexplainable feeling. You know, right then and there, you have to lock in life, do whatever you have to do to take care of your child. Because at that point, they are helpless and depend on you for everything. For a lot of parents, they even put their dreams and long-term goals on hold to focus on their child and provide the best life possible in hopes of one day their baby can be successful, better than them, and follow their own dreams. As kids get older, some see the sacrifices their parents make and are grateful, but others can become spoiled, entitled, and feel like y'all brought me into this world, you are supposed to take care of me, which is true, but it's a question that's been going around for a minute. At what age should a parent pull back from their child and let them stand on their own? Of course, we have all been young, and we know it takes time to get your mind right and understand life and what you got to do to survive out here. While some kids get it fast, after high school, they might go on to college, get a career, and never come back home again. But others struggle. They might not know how to maneuver on their own because their parents babied them, or they might guilt trip their parents to keep taking care of them while they are grown, bringing up what they feel was childhood traumas, even though it wasn't even that bad. Or some kids are simply just lazy with no ambition. But what happens when your child becomes a grown man or woman living under your roof and refuses to follow rules or help around the house? The relationship can take a turn for the worse. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Waterbury, Connecticut to discuss the case of a man whose parents wanted him to pay bills and his response was unthinkable. Back in 2025, 51-year-old Carlene Williams was in a transitional phase in her life. The Jamaican native and mother decided to make a change. Years prior, her and her family left the island. They decided they would start a new life in the States. The family landed on the East Coast, Waterbury, Connecticut. At the time, also relocating with her was her husband, 55-year-old Mark Adams. Mark was a firefighter back in Jamaica, but once they came to the States, he switched careers to being a chef and worked in New York City to support himself, Carlene, and their kids. Carlene had more than one child. It's not clear how many exactly her and Mark had together, but it's a fact they did share one son. At the time, 25-year-old Javion Adams. As the family was adjusting to their new home and life, somewhere in the mix, Carlene and Mark would go their separate ways and just co-parent. She was now at home alone with the kids. Most were grown. A few went on to school to find careers and left home. But Javion, unlike his brothers and sisters, struggled to find his footing. His mother was very patient with the young man and understanding. Described as a sweet woman who sacrificed a lot to raise her kids and get them a better life than she had. She worked at Amazon along with one of her sons to provide, but Javion didn't work at all and would find himself in and out of trouble, catching charges for DV, putting his hands on women. Carlene and Mark would often talk to their son, let him know he was 25 years old now, grown, and he should be responsible for himself. They didn't mind helping out. His mother didn't even mind him staying at home, at least until he figured everything out. She just wanted him to get a job, buy groceries, chip in a few dollars towards the bills, and stay out of trouble. Minus dealing with Javion, life was going good for Carlene. Her and Mark even though divorced, decided they would try to reconcile, and he moved back into the family's home in Connecticut. But daily, it was a struggle for Carlene to talk to Javion about life, getting a job, and on his feet. He would just brush his mother off, and tension was building in the house between the young man and his parents. On October 6, 2025, it was a normal day at the house. Mark and Carlene were both at home, along with Javion, when a conversation about missing money started. It seemed the young man wasn't not only paying things around the house, but stealing from his mother. Our conversation quickly turned into an argument after Carlene told Javion she was tired of him stealing, not helping out, stating you don't buy food, pay any bills, work, you are being irresponsible. But his response was, I don't care, and it is what it is. In his own words, F it. Later that evening, the neighborhood was quiet before shots went off. Neighbors called local police, who responded to the family's home to find both Carlene and Mark suffering from gunshot wounds to the back of their heads. It seemed somebody had targeted the couple and shot them execution style, and unfortunately, both were pronounced gone at the scene. Neighbors caught an earlier argument between Carlene and her son on video and turned over the footage to police. They also noticed her car was missing, along with Javion. Later that day, witnesses called police, stating they saw a man in Watertown, another part of Connecticut, jump out of an SUV, drop a gun, and take off on feet, running towards the woods. The man matched the description of Javion, who is now a suspect. Early that next morning, a man heard noise outside of his home, and his motion detectors went off. He came outside with a flashlight, walked to his garage where he heard the noise at, and was shocked at what he found. A young man waving, saying, I'm hungry. The man spoke in a calm voice. The homeowner told the man in a stern voice, like, leave right now, and the intruder did, but not before the man took a picture and called local police. Once the police saw the picture, they knew exactly who it was, Javion, in which the man stated he ran towards the water. Just hours later, he was arrested, taken into custody, charged with 2 counts of first-degree hit on his parents and other charges from the break-in. The homeowner who caught him in the garage spoke out on not knowing he was a suspect in a double homicide. He said Javion was calm, showed no aggression, and just said he was hungry. At Javion's first court date, he sat quietly as he heard the charges against him. His public defender stated he was arrested with no weapon and there wasn't no evidence he shot his parents, but the charges stuck. Local police searched the area and nearby water for evidence. It's not clear if they found the gun or anything. Javion's big brother spoke out about his mother and stepfather being good people who brought their kids to the States for a better life. He claimed it was always tension because his little brother was rebellious, but he never knew it would go this far. As of now, Javion hasn't went to trial yet, and he is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to Carlene and Mark. If the accusations against their son is true, that's terrible. The person you sacrifice your life for to protect, nurture, and provide for, turn around and take your life. Like a stranger in the streets, they were both shot execution style in the back of the head. I hear a lot of parents nowadays saying that their kids can stay with them no matter how old they get. And I know for my people, some of us feel like we put our kids out too early, before they are ready. I think it's about balance though. You can provide so much for a 25-year-old man or woman and make it so comfortable for them, they feel like they don't have to or want to do for self. Sometimes thinking we are helping our child can enable them, even cripple and spoil them. And that can cause entitlement or even resentment. But I'm going to end this one with a question. For my parents out there, at what age should you stop taking care of your kids? And what should be the cutoff age for them to stand on their own too and leave the house? Let me know in the comments. And remember, we got to succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, that's a terrible story. Rest in peace to both Mark and Carlene. I definitely send my prayers to their families. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.